Okay, we're up to the fourth Aliyah for Parsha Chaya Sarah. Story's getting very fascinating. And he said, blessed is, now we're talking about the servant whose name we also are not told, but as I've mentioned, his name is Eliezer. Now, how do I know that? I mean, I had to be told that by somebody who was told that, 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 because it's not written in the Torah. So how do we know his name? Because it's not written here. I think eventually his name is said, but not here. So if you don't know the full Torah, you don't know Tanakh, don't know the commentators, you're going to be like, who is this person? I mean, you just know he's a servant of Abraham. Anyhow, and he said, blessed is the Lord, the God of my master. And again, he's using Baruch, Yud Kei Vav Kei, as he's been consistent. Abraham, who has not forsaken his loving kindness. Again, this is the aspect of Rachamim, so that's why he's using Yud Kei Vav Kei, I would imagine. And his truth for my master. As for me, the Lord led me on the road to the house of my master's kinsman. So he is acknowledging that it was God's work. And the maiden ran, so she's again running around doing mitzvahs. And she told her mother's house what had happened. Now, Rebecca had a brother whose name was Laban. And Laban ran to meet to the man outside to the fountain. Now, listen, I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to spoil some things. If you're not familiar with Judaism, Laban in the Haggadah, which is a story we read on Passover. Every Jew's read for at least 3,000 years on Passover, or at least told it over orally, and then it was written down. Either way, we have a Haggadah, easily over 3,000 years old, done Passover. And it says in there that he's the worst person. He's worse than Pharaoh. Now, it doesn't seem that way here, right? We don't know that. Now, Laban means white. The actual word, Laban. So, and he kind of lives in the area of the Caucasus Mountains, like that area. So he's going to, you could say he's Caucasian. I'm just kidding. And it doesn't matter. I'm just making a thing. But the truth is we're all sons of either Ham, Yefet, or Shem. Now, since he's related to Abraham, we have to say that he's a Semite, right? Meaning he's from Shem. So he's closely related because he's in Abraham's immediate family. And it came to pass when he saw the nose ring and the bracelets on his sister's hands, and when he heard the words of his sister Rebekah saying, so did the man speak to me that he came to the man, and behold, he was standing over the camels at the fountain? So again, when he saw them, so he sees the nose ring. So I think he kind of knows what's up, this Laban character. And then he hears the story from his sister. And he said, come, you who are blessed by the Lord, why should you stand outside when I have cleared the house and a place for the camels? And Laban, uses Yud Kei Vav Kei. So the man came to the house and unmuzzled the camels, and he gave straw and fodder to the camels, and water to wash his feet and the feet of the man who were with him. So he wasn't by himself, this servant. And the food was set before him to eat, and he said, I will not eat until I've spoken my words. And he said, speak. So I'm thinking this is Laban saying. And he said, I am Abraham's servant. So he still hasn't said his name. We still don't know his name, but he's the one talking. And the Lord blessed my master exceedingly and became great. And he gave him sheep and cattle, silver, gold, manservants, maidservants, camels, and donkeys. Now, why would he do this? He wants Laban to know that this guy who's about to, make this proposal is rich. In other words, listen, I'm about to ask for your daughter or for your sister, and for this person you've never met, for this boy / man of a person who your father would know, Nahor. It's their brothers or cousins, but you've never seen this Yitzhak character. You don't know who he is, but I'm telling you, he comes from a rich family. So money is important in the Torah. Money is important. I don't know how else to say it. The Torah is saying it. And Sarah, my master's wife, bore a son to my master after she became old and gave him all that he possesses. I'm not really sure why he has to say that Sarah was old, but okay. And my master adjured me, saying, you shall not take a wife from my son and from my daughters of the Canaanites in whose land I dwell. So now he's saying why he's there. Instead, you must go to my father's house and to my family. Now, she doesn't have to do it. Nobody's putting a gun to her head. And take away, oh no, he's talking about himself. He's talking about what Abraham said. You must go to my father's house and my family, take a wife for my son. So that's how he's showing how he ended up where he is. And I said to my master, perhaps the woman will not follow me. And he said to me, the Lord before whom I walked, and this is good, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. So Abraham is invoking Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. So I don't know how later the Torah could say that that God didn't reveal himself as Yud-Kei Vav-Kei when it's right here in the verses. But all right. We will send his angel with you and make you prosper, and you shall take a wife from my son, from my family, and from my father's house, and you will be absolved from my oath when you come to my family. And if they do not give her to you, you will be absolved from my oath. So either way, she has free will. She's not chattel, as some people say about women in the Torah, like all the people who don't like the Torah claim that women are just mere chattel. They're not. This woman and all women in the Torah have rights. Behold, I'm standing by the water fountain when a maiden comes out to draw water. Now, again, remember, water is Torah. And I say to her, please give me a little water to drink from your pitcher. And it's also actual water. And if she will say to me, you too may drink water, and I will also draw water for your camels. She is the woman from whom the Lord has designated to my son, my master's son. And listen, I wanted to say something. The Torah does repeat things, but when it does, it's always for an emphasis. He's really literally taking up all these lines to repeat the story because it's important. And it's important that Laban know the context. Now, is Laban even the master of the house? But he's speaking to Laban, it seems. So where's the father? Anyhow. And she hastened and lowered her pitcher from upon her. And she said, drink, and I also water your camels. So I drank, and she also watered the camels. And I asked her, and we still haven't even said her name, by the way. I mean, the Torah said her name, but he's never said her name out loud, and she hasn't said her name out loud. And whose daughter are you? And she replied, the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Nachor, whom Milcah bore to him. She doesn't even say her own name. And I placed the nose ring on her nose and the bracelets on her hands. And I kneeled and prostrated myself to the Lord, again, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. And I blessed the Lord, again, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. I think I've made my point. Who led me on the true path to take the daughter of my master's brother for a son. And now, if you will do loving kindness, and now again, this is the aspect of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, is always loving kindness, with my master, tell me, and if not, tell me. So it's still a choice, and I will turn to the right or to the left. The Torah is about free will. One of the aspects of the Torah is about free will. And Laban and Bethuel, now we finally get Bethuel piping in. He's the father, so I don't know who he was talking to this whole time. Answer said, the matter is emanated from the Lord. And they use Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. We cannot speak to you either bad or good. By the way, they kind of always have choice. You always have choice. Behold, Rebekah is before you. Take her and go, and let her be for a wife of your master's son, as the Lord has spoken. Now it came to pass when Abraham's servant heard all their words, that he prostrated himself to the ground to the Lord, which is again Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, and that ends the fourth Aliyah. But we don't know what she's going to say, because even though people want to believe that women don't have any rights in the Torah, it's not true. They still have free will. She still can speak up for herself. She still can say no. We're going to find out what she says in the fifth Aliyah, coming soon on Netflix.